Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Shut Door or Door Shutter, coming back to you with episode 61 of All the Mods 9, and today we are running into an issue. So I got a sulfuric acid set up. It's not complicated. We've kind of seen the recipes. Water, vapor, sulfur trioxide inside of a chemical infuser, and of course I just set it up like the machines we have over there, and that was that, right? So the biggest issue is this single line uses 9 million power. I wish I was kidding. This line uses 9 million power. Our power system currently only produces 8 million. So yeah, that's a thing. I actually let this run to fill up, and we didn't run out of power fully, but it got close. So we are basically got 3 different tanks full, and the cables are full. So if we need to knock the flux points out, we need to knock the flux points out. But I started moving on to the chemical dissolution chamber to get hydrofluoric acid, which is our next step. And I actually wanted to do this on camera because, of course, this is kind of a camera-worthy thing here. And so let's grab our fluorite, which is this Greg Tech fluorite green crystal here. And we're going to set this here because I'm not sure if I want to do multiple of these. So we're going to leave that option up to me later down the line. But we will most likely have to use the reactors for power temporarily, which is not what I want to do, but it will work. And we're actually going to use universal pipes here because we're going to grab an entangler-porter thingy. We're actually going to set this to sulfuric acid, set, and then output bottom. And we'll go here, we'll do this, and we'll make sure the drawer is set for this as well with a round robin set on it. And then we're going to run these pipes down center, which I'm actually going to go to this other end, shrink down, and then fly, maybe. Gotta turn down throttle here real quick. Okay. Just run the cables down center. And then we are going to quickly just make sure that that is muted because I don't want to hear it. And now we just need to make sure all these machines are set up properly. And I think, aren't these the ones that use the gas upgrades? They do. So we actually need some more gas upgrades. And we have... How many machines do we have real quick? Because I just want to grab the amount that we need. So we have 4 times 23 times 8. So that's 736 minus 32. 704. Okay? So we need a total of 704 gas upgrades. So let those craft. And I quickly want to look at the power that this is using. So we're using 3,680. Of course, there is no upgrades, and some of these aren't running because I need to configure them properly. So input is bottom, and then output is, in this case, left. And this is making a gas. So left is output for gas. Make sure I just did the gas one, okay? So let's then grab our configuration card and configure all of these machines. Just real quick here. Okay, and that should be every single machine set up properly. Now I just need to do this set, or the rest of the set, and I will be right back here in a second. Alright, so the gas tubes are taking a minute, but we're going to just do the exact same thing we've done for basically every single one of these, which is a line of tubes. That will then lead down into a tank, and then that tank will then lead off into a quantum entangler-porter. Because then that way, of course, we're having modularization and all of that fun stuff. Is modularization a word? I just came up with it if it's not. But anyway, so this should be pretty fantastic. The gas upgrades are taking a hot minute. I need to look into making a better mechanism system for crafting, but I have not done that. And that may be a future task once we know we have enough power and all of that fun stuff. And so after we get reactors and everything of that sort, the next portion is going to be getting the DT fuel for a fusion reactor, because we're making fission reactors. We want a fusion reactor. And I think the way it's looking right now, we're probably going to get a what do you call it? We're going to make some turbines and stuff like that, just because we do need power as of current. If that system does empty out on power or something like that. Also, I need chunk loaders. I'm gonna have to find a mod for it, because honestly, FTB chunks kind of sucks with only being 25 of them. I went around and cleared as many of them as I could not find enough, and I tried to raise it. I think on a live stream, and that live stream has since been removed just because it utterly failed because I broke the world. And so I will not be doing the FTB configs method for FTB chunks, because I don't want to crash the world again. So I'm going to go grab manual chunk loaders. There's a mod out there called chunk loaders. So let me actually go really quick grab that so we can keep this system on. And I will wait, of course, on gas upgrades and our chemical tanks. Alrighty, so we have the hydrofluoric acid done. It is set up with the entangler at the end, and everything is running. It's cruising. And I'm making sure over here that we are still doing good on sulfur. Look, I did forget to add the drawer to the fluorite back, but I've got it added again. So now what we need to do is get your yellow cake uranium. Yellow cake uranium is an enrichment chamber, and then you just throw uranium ingots in there and you get yellow cake uranium. Then that goes and processes into uranium oxide, and then that is then combined with hydrofluoric acid to make uranium hexafluoride. So I'm going to do this off camera. I'm going to get up to the uranium hexafluoride. I'm going to just get it done. It is basically the exact same setup. It's just using different fluids at the end. We'll have an entangler or two entangler porters just like this. One with, the necessary ingredients. So one with uranium oxide, the other one with the hydrofluoric acid, pipe down the middle, and then output of the uranium hexafluoride, right? So we'll get that going, and then we'll come back, and then we'll do fissile fuel on camera, and that will then lead us into reactors potentially. So yeah, be right back. We've obtained the uranium hexafluoride that is needed for fissile fuel. So fissile fuel is not complicated once you get the uranium hexafluoride, because the biggest thing with that is getting the isotopic centrifuges, which I have 6 of. These aren't that expensive, and what you'll do is you will just plop them down. I'm going to plop down 4 of them. I actually want to grab... No, actually, I guess I have 8, not 6. Okay. I was like, I'm about to go grab 4 or 2 more if I had 6, but no. Okay, and then we're going to grab an entangler porter, which I actually think I have one in the backpack here. And at pipes. Actually, let's go with tubes in this case. Pressurized tubes. And we're going to go with uranium hexafluoride, or hexa in this case, because you can't type hexafluoride. And then we're going to say in this direction, which is the right direction, we're going to output. Let's grab our configurator. We're going to input into these isotopic centrifuges. And then make sure these are all configured correctly. So input in that front section, and then let's just, I don't think, I can't output from the top. So let's do output on the back. And let's also quickly mute this machine here. So let's configure card this machine, copy it here, here, and here. And then we can just pipe into an entangler porter, fissile fuel. I think that's how you spell fissile fuel, right? Fissile. I spelled fissile fuel wrong. Shucks. I'm not even going to fix it. I will fix it. Hold on. Can I actually fix it? I don't think I can rename this. We already got fissile fuel in there. We're okay. It'll irritate me. when I think about it, but it'll be all right. We shall live. Anyway, let's get this one going. So this is front is input, back is output, and then we're going to configure card all of these, and then of course we'll need to run power to these as well, but we'll get there. Output, no, input, that one, yes, perfect. Okay, so we're also going to need run flux cables, or flux network points, and then normal cables. If I can click on the proper thing there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just run cables, place a flux point, run cables, place a flux point, set both flux points to shuts network. And then, I guess next part is to get upgrades in these, which is energy and speed. Also, this is a 1-to-1 conversion, by the way. So the 8 million millibuckets we have in here should result in 8 million just outright. So I'm kind of wondering if it would be a good idea to move this all back downstairs across from here maybe, and just do, what was that, 23 times 2, so 36 machines, and go with that. I think I might do that. So let me move all of that stuff we just did. It's going to be the exact same thing, but we're just going to move it in a larger scale. I've finished the fissile fuel here. I've got it set up for quantum entanglement porters at the end, and everything is working smoothly, which is fantastic. I've also increased the production of uranium, so this should be active more frequently. We also ran completely out of yellow cake uranium, so we've got that going. We'll have some occasionally pop in, but not a whole lot. And of course, I just increased the uranium one, which is this one, by 4. So we have the original 1, and then of course we have 1, 2, 3 additional, and then off to the bottom we have the 33 supremium block rows of growth accelerators there. And so that is working. That is giving us a little bit better of output, so we don't run out of uranium hexafluoride, which is super important to fluoride, of course, because it's a main ingredient. And we don't run out of uranium oxide as the kind of good thing, not really the uranium hexafluoride. Because if we run out of uranium oxide, we can't make uranium hexafluoride, and then we can't make fissile fuel, right? So that is awesome, okay? So the next thing we're going to look into is building a reactor. This is going to be one of 3 reactors, or one of 2, actually, one of 2. And these 2 reactors are going to make polonium and plutonium. One is going to make polonium, one's going to make plutonium. And so we're going to start with a 7x7 reactor. And I don't know how tall I want to make this yet, so we're going to kind of just do that on camera here. So let's get the fission reactor casing set for the flooring. And we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we'll call it at 8. So the internal would be this, so 7 in total. And then we're just going to create a kind of wire frame for this system. And we'll have to, of course, fill in the top. I actually don't know if I can put valves and stuff in the top and bottom. I think I can, but I'm actually not sure. I can't recall if I've done that in the past, because I actually want to do that, but if I can't, I can't. And we'll just get over it. So let's check that out here in a second once I get this frame built. Perfect. And then we're going to step in with control rod assemblies and fission fuel rods. So for this, we're going to go here, 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 here. And we may want to add to that point, I think. I think that's a good one. So control rod assemblies. I think these go in here, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. I'll probably mess this up, but that's okay. So we're going to try this first. And then worst case scenario, I just need to replace them and put them down a layer lower. So we're just going to go in just like this. And that should meet up with the top here. Oop. Okay. So then should be golden. Let me get the reactor glass here real quick. Let me get that placed on all sides, and we'll be right back here in a second. All right, so let's get some valves in place here. So we need input, output, and then waste. So input, output. We grab a configurator here. Let's see, just change it to toggle something. So there's output coolant, input only. So we're going to do output coolant. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing something. But what am I missing? I figured it out. I missed a control rod whenever I moved them down one, so they do need to be inside the reactor. The reason I always forget where these need to go is because with extreme reactors or big reactors, you need to put them on the very top layer. So here, while in mechanism, you need to put them in the middle, and I always forget that. All right, so let's work on the next little bit of things that we need to look into. So we need what are called fission reactor logic adapters. And we're actually going to put 4 on this. So let's go 1, 2, 3. And then our 4th is going to go down here at the bottom, or towards the bottom. So activation is what we're going to click on. And we're going to want to set this to high temperature. We're going to set this one to excess waste. And we're going to set this one to insufficient fuel. Because I think we could just simplify this with a redstone link or 2. Or actually, I guess 4 in this case, right? So let's just do that. Brass casing. Redstone link. We'll just do this. Grab a create wrench. And so these are going to be sending signals. Just get rid of that Zephyr here real quick. So all of these are going to be sending signals, and this is going to be receiving a signal. So let's just set this as... I'm going to disable it because I know it's going to reactivate. Do we actually want that? Or do we want to do... I'm trying to think about how to do this properly. Without, like, blowing us up here in the progress of doing this. So like that, maybe? So let's get a sink. And I'm going to do something that I picked up from, I believe, Chosen Architect. I believe this is who I picked it up from. And we're going to grab Integrated Dynamics Fluid Exporters. I think this is what I need. I'm not 100% sure. I may need to grab something else, but we shall see if this is the right thing. I'm hoping it is. And then we should be able to do this, and then this one is export, and then we just need a logic cable and a variable card. But do I need a fluid importer or exporter? Hold on. Because this imports fluid into the network, which is not what we want. So let's go for this, which is export fluid. And we're going to click here. And we're just going to set this to as many 9s as we possibly can. So I don't know how many 9s that is, but that's what we're going with. And I don't think that's working. So I don't think this is the right one at the bottom here. So let's try that one more time. But let's grab a fluid importer and give that a shot. Okay, so this is not working. So I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong here. I just realized that I had that set backwards. I was using the input coolant one. I just changed them because I didn't feel like picking up the sink. We're going to try this one more time here. And just do this. And then export fluids. Do I just need to do export all fluids? I think that's the one I need to do, but we'll give it a shot here. And just do 9999999 until it gives us that bottom X. And this should fill this up quite quickly. Okay, so what we should have happen is we need to do another input here. So let's change this to input. And we're going to grab the entangler. Okay, and that entangler, we are then going to output gases. Because we actually want fissile fuel, which is awesome. It's already set that way. And we are going to then just grab a tube. And we're going to do that. Okay, let me actually quickly mute the mechanism reactor. Because that kicked on once it had the viable amount of coolant, which is cooling the thing, and also the proper amount of fuel, which is fantastic. So you can see we're getting steam in here, though. We don't actually want this to be active for a second, because we need to get rid of that steam. So I'm actually going to take this torch off, and this may start cooling down here a little bit. So let's get rid of the steam. So let's grab a trash can. And I probably want to grab ultimate trash can, I think is what I need. Or maybe I could try a fluid one, I'm not sure. Oh, that is set to wrench mode. And this is set to... Okay, that is not what we want. I'm going to take this out for a second. Which I just irradiated the area on accident. Whoops. I did not know that actually happens when you take out pipes with nuclear waste in them. Radiation. Yeah, this dosimeter thing, dosimeter. Time to decay is going to be an hour. Oof. Okay. We're going to just live with it. What we can do is grab a hazmat suit here. Let me quickly get that figured out here real fast. Okay. So I think for now we should be good. But I'm trying to figure out steam here still. So we're going to grab the pressurized tube again. And that immediately outputted gas. So our issue is we went through without configuring that valve first. And that was my mistake. So we're going to throw down a ultimate trash can. Because the fluid one did not do what I think it is supposed to do. Which is because this is not a fluid, right? So let's just do that. And that should get rid of the steam. And we should be able to activate this again. And we should be able to place that down. And we should be golden. There's also, I don't think there's any way in Mechanism to actually scrub an area, by the way. So this is going to be radiated for literally 2 hours, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I'll probably AFK after this. So this should start getting us nuclear waste, right? So this nuclear waste is actually going to be used in a couple of things here. I'm actually going to scram this real quick because I actually need to add one more port, and I'm going to do this on the underside here. So I can pipe it over into this area here, which I don't think this is going to be the one that I'm going to use the solar neutron activator on, but I still want to use it. So let's do this, and then let's grab a fission reactor port. So we're going to output waste, and we are going to pipe that directly into the center here. And that will go into... We don't want a radiation barrel, by the way, because that'll actually decay over time. So we want to just directly input this into a machine. So let's see what we need. So let's say plutonium, which I think is the one that doesn't require the solar neutron activator. So plutonium plus water equals plutonium pellets. I think that's what we're looking for. Because then also polonium, which is the one that needs the solar neutron activator. So how do we get this? So we just do isotopic centrifuge. Isotopic centrifuge. And I do apologize for the screen shake every once in a while. I wish I could get rid of that, but of course that was my mistake, and I'm living with it as of current. But we just place this down. Let's actually place this down. I'm hoping this doesn't radiate the area again. But it really shouldn't, because the pipes should be smart enough, but we'll go with it. So we'll do that, and then we will make sure that this is inputting from the bottom. Okay, so there's our nuclear waste. And then we want to pipe out of this into the chemical pressurized reaction chamber. Pressurized reaction chamber. So pressurized pressure. Man, if I could spell. So pressurized reaction chamber. So we can see if we can force output on this. And into here. And then grab a sink. Which is going to be an input. And I don't think I can force input this, so I have to use mechanical pipes. So we'll just do that. Forget that that's on wrench mode still. So that should give us some of that, which is fantastic. Need a flux point. And I would just like come back and work on all this stuff after the radiation would go by, but I don't have 2 hours to wait. So, and it's real time, I'm pretty sure. With like, it takes 2 hours of real time to get rid of it. So keep that in mind. I wish I could. Okay. So then what we're going to need is fluorite, crushed fluorite into dust. So what I'm actually going to do there, just grab a crusher. Our crushing factory, I think, is probably a better idea, isn't it? And then get a pusher upgrade. And then get an ender chest with a different color frequency. Let me put some stuff away here real quick. Okay. So this would be, I think, like orange, maybe. Orange top and bottom. Yeah, let's go with orange top and bottom. Orange top and bottom. I'm really living out the consequences of this radiation. But that's also why you set up a lot of the safeguards and kind of set things up before you're actually doing things. Unlike what I just did. Okay, so that should give us that. Sort of shift click with some ender pearls to get that to 27. And then we're going to take this ender chest and go upstairs. Can I drink milk? But I think like the thing is if I drink milk, it'll just come right back because it's a status effect area. Like an area of effect. So how do I want to do this? Because I can't pull items directly. Can I do that? And then ender chest here. Did I increase the radiation by doing that? Probably. Nope. At pipes, just grab this and that. And then on the bottom here, there's our fluorite dust. And then we can get a drawer. Actually, let's just grab an ender chest with our white frequency on it. Okay. And that should pipe in once we get enough nuclear waste, which we actually just need to reactivate this whole system to start getting nuclear waste again. Let's put some of the blocks back here. And of course, I'll cover up a lot of this stuff, by the way. I may rerun the power cables or figure out something. I don't think I can probably rerun them. I might have to just live with them. But that is a set reactor, right? We've got the coolant going, the steam going into a trash can as of right now. We've got fluids going in using integrated dynamics. We've got, of course, fissile fuel coming in. Quite a decent amount of fissile fuel. And yeah, that is then being piped into over here where we are making plutonium. Yes, plutonium. And then, of course, once I get the next reactor set up, which I'm going to do off camera, it'll be plutonium, or polonium, goodness gracious. And polonium will, of course, be with a solar neutron activator here, and then that solar neutron activator will pipe into a pressurized reaction chamber, making the plutonium, and then that will be piped back into our main system. So, that is going to be super simple. Nothing that we need to do on camera. But I'm actually going to pop out of here to back home so we can wrap this episode up. I do apologize for the screen shaking and all of that fun stuff. And it looks like I've got like radiation poisoning or something right now. I don't know how to get rid of radiation poisoning, but hopefully I will figure that out. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.